us direct or collect 386-1161 or on your cell at star 1070. It's Joe Easingwood in the CFAX Newsline on CFAX 1070.
You know, I for one, and I think a lot of people have said this over the years, why aren't there more young people in politics? Where's the young blood? Well, we discovered some last week, and we've discovered more today. His name is Sean McNulty. He's running for mayor of Central Saanich. Sean, welcome to the program.
Morning, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm running for mayor of Central Saanich. I believe it's a great place. I want to make it an even better place to live. So that's what the campaign is really all about.
Okay, what about yourself? Give us a little of the who is this guy called Sean McNulty?
Well, that's a big question, Joe. How much time do we got?
Oh, you go with it.
Well, I do a lot of things out in the Saanich Peninsula area. I'm on the board of directors for the Saanich Peninsula Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm. I'm the president of the Saanich Peninsula Toastmasters Club out there. Also manage Island View Golf Center, which is a award-winning driving range out on the peninsula. Uh-huh. And I help operate family business 5-Star Paving, which involves setting up, running job sites, things like that. So I bring a wide array of experiences to the table. Oh, and I also am formally educated in UVic in economics and international business. So
informally?
No, formally.
Oh, formally.
Yes.
I was going to get you to tell me that story.
Yeah, no. Formally, like I paid the money, took the courses.
Why do you want to be mayor?
Well, like I said, to make a great place even better. I believe that Central Saanich is a great place, not because of the municipal city hall, but in spite of the obstacles put in front of the residents and business owners and farmers out there. So I believe if there was a municipal hall that worked with the residents, business owners, and farmers rather than against them, we could make a great place even more spectacular than it already is.
Give us an example of that.
A good example, well, the village centers is my number one platform point. They've taken some great steps in Brentwood Bay with the road revitalization, but there's still a long way to go. In short, both village centers are looking a little old and tired, so I think we could do better than that out there.
So where is this? Is this the town center, just for everyone's benefit, that drive through Central Saanich but rarely stop?
Well, we have two village centers. They're just great places for them, Saanich Village and Brentwood Village. Oh. And the buildings are... geographically, they're looking West Saanich Road is Brentwood Bay Village, mm-hmm. and Saanich Village is around Mount Newton and East Saanich.
Where the prairie and is, Turkey Foods, that sort of thing.
Exactly. So if you go in there, I mean, you got some great businesses, but you got these old and tired buildings. If you go to a successful village centers, you go to Cook Street Village, Oak Bay Village, you notice that all the storefronts are brought up to the street, right up to the sidewalks, creates a very pedestrian-friendly atmosphere, and you have mixed-use, dense residential commercial buildings mm-hmm. in these village cores. So those are the attributes I'd like to see brought into our village centers.
Now, you want them joined? Is that the idea?
No, not joined. Still, they're separate village centers, but just enhanced, really.
Explain enhanced.
Enhanced? Well, like I said, bringing these storefronts up to the street corner, making them more pedestrian-friendly. Yeah. What you got there right now, both in Brentwood and in Saanich, you got these massive parking lots and then these stores right at the back of the parking lots, right. Like the Royal Bank building and some other ones, which they're in the process of redoing. So what you end up having is you have these people come in and you get kind of destination shopping. They'll drive into these parking lots, walk the marathon to get to the front door of these businesses, go to that one business, get back in their car and leave, right? So what I'd want to make is, more pedestrian-friendly.
By doing what?
By bringing the storefronts up to the front of the street, allowing people to...
Is that talking about a mall type of thing? Or?
No, not a mall. What I do is bring in the attributes you see at other successful village centers, Joe. Like if you go to...
What would be an example of one around here?
Cook Street Village or Oak Bay Village.
Okay.
Yes. So you go down there, you see the storefronts are brought up to the street level. They're very pedestrian friendly, and there's more mixed use, denser residential on the top, mm-hmm. commercial on the bottom, buildings in there.
Who can be against that? Is that the controversy?
That's not a controversy. Oh. That's my platform. That's what I'd like to see happen. Okay. That's my one. I have 3 platform points, but that's my number one platform point.
Okay, what's number 2?
Number 2, fair and equal treatment of all tax-paying or all citizens of Central Saanich.
Oh, it sounds wonderful.
It is. It's spectacular.
How do you do that?
Well, you just do it. You treat everyone fairly and with respect.
Well, and that's not being done now.
In some cases, I think now, yes.
What would be an example of what's not being done?
This is where it gets tricky, because I don't want to run a negative campaign, sit here, complain, point fingers.
You want to be mayor, you got to...
I do want to be mayor, but I want to talk about my vision. I don't want to sit here and bash people. That's not my...
You don't have to do that. I'm just simply asking you the simple question to explain.
Well, I go to council meetings every Monday night, Joe. Mm-hmm. And some people aren't treated very respectfully. I know I've had some bad experiences in the past.
Like what?
Like what? Well, I had an incident with a bylaw officer saying some rather inflammatory things to me that I didn't appreciate, which I posted on my website, SeanForMayor.com. So, and I don't think that behavior is acceptable. So, that being my second campaign platform point, I want to make it abundantly clear that that type of thing won't be acceptable with myself as mayor.
What are you going to do? Send all these people to charm school?
I through leadership, I'm going to make sure that kind of thing doesn't happen.
Okay, give us an example of how that wouldn't happen if you were mayor.
Well, one thing the mayor has under the Local Government Act, Joe, is the right to suspend municipal employees. Mm-hmm. So, if a municipal employee treated a resident in that fashion, it would not be tolerated.
3 strikes and you're out?
1 strike and you're out, Joe.
1 strike and you're out.
For that particular situation, for myself, 1 strike and you're out.
Boy, that must have been some attack.
It was. I was very offended by it. But like I said,
briefly, what was that? I'm curious to know what
he said. Something.
What upset you that much?
This is going back a ways, and this by no means isn't the reason why I'm running. So I wanted this to be taken out of context. But no, it was essentially tried to instigate me into getting into a fist fight with him, which was just something that it just kind of blew me away. To see that coming from a municipal employee who technically works for myself as a resident and someone who works and lives out there.
Right.
So that's the second point. Now the third campaign platform is the efficient, responsible management of taxpayers' dollars. Coming from a business background, with the credentials I just listed on myself, I believe I am the best qualified candidate to do just that.
Why?
Well, because I know how to watch the bottom line. I operate businesses, work with tons of people. I know what I'm doing.
Who are you up against for the position of mayor?
Well, that's a great question, Joe. A few people have been talking about it behind the scenes. But I suspect they plan on doing the regular political thing and at the last minute kind of trying to sneak their way into office. That's why this morning, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to formally challenge both Mayor Maher and Councillor Graham, if they are running, to announce early and give the people of Central Saanich the opportunity to properly interview each of them for the extremely important job of mayor. Let's get the debate started early, allow the people to hear each of our visions, and make an informed decision on the direction they'd like to see Central Saanich going.
You're throwing down the gauntlet.
That's right, Joe. Well, it's really what it does is it gives the residents of Central Saanich the best deal. The more they get to ask their potential mayor candidates questions, the more they can kind of vet them to see who they want leading the municipality.
How would your policies differ then from what they have now under Mayor Maher?
Well, I mean, that's give me a specific, I guess, Joe. Like, for instance, in what sense? I mean,
in any sense.
In any sense, well, I believe I bring a lot more leadership qualities. One of the biggest things I see when I go to these council meetings, Joe, is people are almost terrified to make a decision. It seems like, right? There's endless debate going on, and what that leads to is like, for instance, the village center is getting old and tired, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, for instance, that road work in Brentwood Bay took 10 years to finally get done. So, we're talking about, for a block of road, I mean, it's just insanity, right? So I'm not afraid to make decisions. I know how to make decisions. And if you look back across my track record, I believe I've made very good decisions. So that'd be one
example.
Well, when I started at Island View Golf Center, I took over about 6 months into it. And it was in a vicarious state at that point. I mean, it wasn't profitable. There was all sorts of problems. Labor costs were out of control. It was a mess, right? And upon taking over, we established a great team there. First of all, myself, Scott Keenlyside, Andrew Winthrop, and we took a business that wasn't profitable and was really struggling to get along, and turned it into the business of the year in 2008. Myself, Scott Keenlyside, Andrew Winthrop, and we took a business that wasn't profitable and was really struggling to get along, and turned it into the business of the year in 2008 in the 1 to 25
So you're
employee
branding
category.
yourself as a guy that gets things done.
I'm a guy who gets things. I'm not branding myself. I am a guy who gets stuff done.
Period.
Joe. Period.
How old are you?
24.
So you've had lots of experience. You're running a business.
That's correct.
The golf center, is that?
Yep. And, well, I guess involved helping run 2 businesses. So, yes. And sitting on the board of directors of the Saanich Peninsula Chamber of Commerce. And
Who's bankrolling you? You got a big signed billboard on the Pat Bay Highway.
You bet.
Can't miss it.
yeah.
Is it that big when they unplug it?
When they unplug it. It's
Well, it's a bright sign.
no, there's no lights on it, Joe.
Oh, every time I've seen it, it's so bright. I've said to my wife, I wonder if Sean unplugs that.
Yeah,
It's
no,
still gonna
no,
be-
it's just naturally. It just lights up the highway.
It's a joke, Sean.
Oh, okay, I see.
386-1161. Here's a guy that wants to be mayor of Central Saanich. What would you like to hear from listeners this morning?
Oh, whatever they got. I mean, I've been door knocking houses for the last 2 months, Joe. I've done 784 homes now.
Okay.
So whatever they want to hit me with, I would love to answer them.
Our lines are open, 250-386-1161, star 1070, a free call on your cell phone.
Now back to Joe Easingwood and the CFAX Newsline on CFAX 1070.
Sean McNulty running for mayor of Central Saanich. Let's go to the phone board here. Greg, good morning. You're on CFAX 1070.
Morning, Joe. How are you today?
I'm well.
That's good. I just have a quick question for Central Saanich.
Yeah.
Whether they receive money or funding for homeless, and whether they use that money, or whether they talk to any of the... I'm in Victoria, so
Right.
you see where I'm going with this.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I wondered if he could answer that question for me.
Go ahead, Sean.
For the money allocated to Central Saanich for, I know they contribute to the Affordable Housing Fund. That I'm not sure the CRD oversees or not, but
But do you receive funding?
do I receive funding?
Like, does Central Saanich receive funding for the homeless, or the homeless problem that you potentially may have or have?
They contribute to a regional fund, but in terms of that they receive funding, I'm not sure, Greg. I'll have to look into that.
So that would be received from senior governments. Is that the idea you're thinking of, Greg?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
And where, we have such a serious problem in Victoria,
Yeah.
and I don't know whether Central Saanich really has the serious...
Do you have any problem with homeless out there at the moment?
No, we don't have any problem with homeless in Central Saanich, but obviously homelessness is a regional issue.
Yeah, would you be interested in helping Victoria at all?
Well, Central Saanich does already help, like they do contribute funds. But I mean, yeah, anything that you can do to help.
You know what I mean. You know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, well, I think everyone wants to help
Yeah.
out the homeless. There's no,
No, I mean help the
against that.
city to deal with these problems. If you haven't got the problem out there, maybe you could be helping Victoria deal with the problems if you're getting the funding. Do you understand what I mean?
I understand, yeah, if
Yeah.
we were getting the funding, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, anyone, everyone wants to help solve the homeless problem. So yeah, I definitely, if as proposals came up and they were to help, I'd definitely support them.
Okay, Greg, thanks very much for the call.
Yay. From gossip around water cooler to issues around the world. Talk it over with Terry Spence. Weekdays 11 to noon on CFAX 1070.
With Sean McNulty on this portion of our program this morning, running for mayor in Central Saanich. Let's go to Chris up next this morning. Good morning. Are you there, Chris? Hello, Chris. You want to double-check that for us? 386-1161. Are you paying for your own advertising, so forth, or have you got people out collecting money for you, or what?
A little bit of both. I've contributed some of my own money to the campaign, but there's also other people who've donated to it. So
You've taken out the billboard. That's going to be there through the election time, or will that get changed?
you better believe it. No, November, right till November. So.
What other strategies have you got to sort of get the word out that you're running and want to be mayor?
Well, the biggest initiative is what I call the Silent Majority Tour. I'm door knocking every house in the municipality. It's around 6,000, give or take, and I'm going to go to every one of them. I've already done 784 to date, and hear what the people of Central Saanich have to say.
What are they telling you? Give us a sample of what you're hearing at the door knocking.
Well, a specific example that just came up was the parks.
Yeah.
They feel that the parks are a little neglected in some cases, and so that actually prompted me to come up with a proposal we're going to be putting forward called Green for Green Places in Central Saanich. It's been one of the initiatives we're going to bring to the table, and it's an idea to put a one-time capital capital injection into the parks to really enhance them. A good example is Adam Kerr Park, which is right on the corner of Central Saanich and Keating on your way out to Butcharts there. It's on your left-hand side. You probably even notice it is a park because right now it's just a field with this chain link fence around it. Not very attractive. So that'd be a place that we could see I would like to see some improvement undertaken.
Well, I think it's good of you to come in this morning. I'm sure we'll talk again as the election rolls on. How can people contact you apart from that big sign out there on the Pat Bay?
Apart from that, well, I recommend everyone to go to my website, www.seanformayor.com. Has all my contact information on there. The theme behind the campaign, Joe, is 100% transparency. So I put it all out there on the website and then let people decide who they want as their next mayor.
Website again, nice and slow.
www.seanformayor.com.
Good luck, Sean. I'm sure we'll speak again as the election clock keeps moving.
Yes, I appreciate having me on, Joe.
Okay.